In the desolate landscapes of 1981 Afghanistan, during the brutal Soviet-Afghan War, a lone Soviet tank, a T-55, becomes separated from its convoy during a nighttime raid on a small Pashtun village. The tank's commander, a ruthless and paranoid man named Daskal, orders the destruction of the village, a merciless act that sets the stage for a relentless pursuit. One of the villagers, a young man named Taj, witnesses the tank crushing his brother under its treads. Fueled by grief and a burning desire for vengeance, Taj vows to hunt down the mechanical beast and its crew. The tank crew itself is a pressure cooker of tension and dissent. Alongside the tyrannical Daskal are Samad, their Afghan guide and translator, the naive driver Kovarchenko, the loader Kaminsky, and the gunner Golikov. Kovarchenko, disturbed by Daskal's cruelty and the senseless violence, begins to question their mission and his commander's sanity. Daskal's paranoia deepens as he navigates the treacherous, unfamiliar terrain. He sees enemies everywhere, and his suspicion falls on Samad, whom he accuses of leading them into a trap. In a moment of cold-blooded fury, Daskal executes Samad, an act that horrifies the rest of the crew, especially Kovarchenko. Meanwhile, Taj is not alone in his quest. He joins a band of Mujahadeen fighters, led by a man named Khan. Among them are a group of women from the village, armed and equally determined to avenge their lost ones. They are resourceful, using their knowledge of the land to their advantage. They track the tank, laying traps and launching ambush, their resolve as unyielding as the mountains around them. Their primary weapon is an RPG, a panzer killer, which becomes a symbol of their David versus Goliath struggle. Back inside the steel hull of the tank, the situation deteriorates. The crew is running low on water, fuel, and morale. Daskal's leadership becomes increasingly erratic. He forces the crew to poison a waterhole, a desperate act of spite that further alienates Kovarchenko. The young driver can no longer stomach the commander's inhumanity. When Daskal orders him to execute another crew member he deems disloyal, Kovarchenko refuses. This act of defiance leads to a mutiny. Kovarchenko manages to overpower Daskal and leaves him stranded in the desert, tied to a rock with a grenade under his helmet as a booby trap. A grim tradition among the tank crews for punishing failed commanders. Now in command, Kovarchenko tries to lead the remaining crew to safety. But their ordeal is far from over. The tank is damaged, and their path is blocked by a narrow mountain pass, the same pass the Mujahadeen are waiting for them in. Kovarchenko's attempts to navigate the hostile environment are fraught with peril. He's a soldier, not a monster, but in this land he is the enemy. As the tank limps towards the pass, Taj and the fighters prepare their final ambush. They have the high ground and the element of surprise. At the same time, the stranded Daskal is discovered by the vengeful village women. They show him no mercy, stoning him to death in a powerful, brutal scene that underscores the cycle of violence. The final confrontation at the pass is a masterpiece of tension. Kovarchenko, realizing he is trapped, makes a desperate decision. He steers the tank directly towards the ambush, but instead of fighting, he offers a ceasefire. He exits the tank, unarmed, and tries to reason with Taj. He speaks of the shared humanity beneath their uniforms, of the senselessness of the war. But Taj, blinded by his quest for revenge, is not ready to listen. Just as the fighters are about to destroy the tank with the RPG, a flight of Soviet helicopter gunships appears overhead. In a surprising twist, Taj and his fellow fighters find themselves in a moment of shared vulnerability with the Soviet tankers. The helicopters, seeing the tank and the armed group, assume they are all enemies. They are about to open fire on everyone. In this critical moment, Kovarchenko makes a choice. He signals to the helicopters that he is a friendly unit, but he also gestures for Taj and the others to take cover. His action saves the Mujahideen from being annihilated. The helicopters, confused but seeing a friendly tank, fly away. The dust settles. The immediate threat is gone. Taj stands before Kovarchenko, the RPG still in his hands. He has the chance to fulfill his vow. But seeing Kovarchenko's act of humanity, something shifts within him. He recognizes the man, not the monster. He lowers the weapon. He tells Kovarchenko to leave, to walk back to his own lines. He grants him his life, not out of forgiveness, but out of a newfound understanding. He says, "You are not my enemy. The war is..." The film ends with Kovarchenko and his remaining crew member walking away into the vast, unforgiving desert, their fate uncertain. The beast, the tank, is left behind, a silent, rusting monument to the futility and brutality of the conflict. Taj and his people have their land back, but the scars of war remain. The beast, is a powerful anti-war statement, a gripping tale of survival, revenge, and the glimmers of humanity that can be found even in the darkest of times. It's not just about a tank hunt. It's about the hunt for meaning and mercy in a world consumed by hatred. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this summary, please like and subscribe for more deep dives into classic films.